Hello everybody, it is Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to a Yugioh VRains podcast, the first Yugioh VRains podcast, the first of hopefully many. And if you're not sure what this segment is, I try to do a podcast every month when the summaries for the episodes come out. Usually they pertain to the episodes, but since this is the first VRains podcast, it will more so pertain to what we expect from Yugioh VRains as a whole. So I am joined by three great people as always. I am joined by legendary Duels, and all three of these timestamps will be below for all the topics down below, and they will all give their plugs at the end of the video. So if you want to hop to the end of the video, hear what their channels are all about, please check out all their channels, by the way. I will link them down below. But Legendary Duels, he does character duels, among other things. He makes thumbnails for me. Really great guy. Another person who makes thumbnails for me, Spacial Mewtwo. Sam, he's also a really great guy, and he hasn't been as active on YouTube, but I know he's trying to get back into it. So towards, again, the end of the video, they'll, I'm sure, discuss future plans for their channels. And we are also joined by Sora. He is known as the Lion Turtle on YouTube, so he doesn't really do anything YouTube related, but if you've seen him in comment sections as the Lion Turtle, he's commented on my videos for a while. That is who is Sora in this video. Really nice guy. And here are the three topics we will be discussing. The first one, what are you most excited for about VRains? Our favorite character thus far and why? Everyone wanted to get involved in this topic, so instead of 4 topics, we're only going to do 3. Everyone will still have 2 topics, but everyone is going to talk about that first one. The second topic, every Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist but Yusei has lost within the first 8 episodes. Will Yusaku follow that trend or become only the second protagonist ever to not be defeated in that time span? Will he struggle against Go, who we can assume he's probably going to duel in episodes 4 and 5? And the final topic, any early VRains theories, things we want to see happen, concerns we might have. And I hope you guys answer all these questions down below as well. Timestamps for all these segments are down below. So we are going to begin. We are going to begin with Sora. And the first topic is, what are you most excited for about VRains, and who is your favorite character thus far, and why? So Sora, take it away.
So the thing I'm most excited for about VRains is probably a little controversial, but I'm actually really excited for the speed duels. Now, I know a lot of people don't like them because it's only 5 extra deck, you only get 3 spell and trap zones, you only get 3 main monster zones, and also with the new Pendulum Brews, the 3 spell and trap zones, that does seem a little bad. But I think that it'll let them still have the duels, but they'll go at a faster pace. So instead of having 18-minute duels with a 6-minute plot, you could have, say, maybe 12-minute duels and 12-minute plots, and it'll let there be more of a balance between the duels and the actual just straight-up storytelling. And especially if they're going to add in just the whole visual dynamic of the D boards. I liked the D wheels in 5Ds just for the fluidity that they added, the speed they added, even though it didn't really matter to the duels, but just having the speed, having the characters moving, it makes for a more dynamic and interesting duel. And I thought we'd get that with action duels. We really didn't. Yeah, my favorite character thus far is definitely Akira. It was Aoi for a while, but the more I learn about Akira and the more I like him, he's got a really great design. He's got that smart businessman look, and he's probably going to be some sort of evil, if not, maybe like even just by the numbers evil, like, it's just his job. He's not personally doing anything bad. His relationship with Aoi could be very interesting from his viewpoint, because if they do delve into that, there could be a reason why he's ignoring her. It could just be, he's just a straight-up workaholic. It could be that, he has to deal with all these, Knights of Hanoi people attacking Seoul all the time. It could be that he disrespects his sister, even, for some reason. And if his deck is any relation to Aoi's deck, then I'm going to love it, because I already love Trickstars. And if he has an even better version, then that'll be great.
Perfect. Yeah, no, the Zaizens, 2 very, very interesting characters in what could be a very interesting Vital family in the Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains storyline. So, Legendary, I'm going to hand it over to you. 2 questions. What are you most excited for about VRains, and who, thus far, is your favorite character?
Kind of hard to say what I'm most excited about. I kind of genuinely just am interested in everything. I do like the concept of how when you put your deck inside a dual disc, and then that actually takes your entire body into the virtual world. I think that's a really cool concept, instead of just like a you put on like a headset or something, and then your mind goes into this virtual world, but your body stays in there. But I like the fact that it actually transports you there, and you're physically there. And I know there were probably some concerns before. Maybe for some people thinking like maybe the duels wouldn't be as interesting if the real person is sitting down somewhere on a computer or using a headset, and only the duels are happening in virtual reality. But this way, putting their actual entire mind and body being virtualized into this virtual world, I think that's cool. It makes it more personal, more interactive, and it makes every duel seem more credible. So I just like that concept of it. I think it's cool. I'm generally interested in the whole story just to see how it plays out. I love all the Yu-Gi-Oh stories and seeing what they do with it. I think this is going to be a pretty cool series. As far as the second question, which is my favorite character thus far and why, I don't know how people personally feel about this character, but this is one of my favorite characters so far. I actually really like him, and it's actually Go Onizuka, because I'm not sure how many people like him so far. I know he has a weird design, and people like to hate on strange designs that aren't, I guess, stereotypically cool or interesting, but I think he's a cool character. I think he has a very unique design. I watch Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, so I know that the creators can get very unique and interesting with their character designs and stuff like that. So I expect this kind of stuff going in, so I don't automatically start judging a character by the way they look. But honestly, I think he looks pretty cool and different, and I think it's kind of a different take, making him a wrestler and all that stuff. And I really love his deck, the Goki archetype. I love the concept of it being a straight down beatdown deck while having that unique gimmick where if he has his Ace Link monster out, all monsters on the field lose attack points equal to their defense. I think that's really cool, and none of his monsters lose any attack because they all have zero attack and they search each other out. So like it's really cool. I just like everything. I liked his bio, that he has this persona as a wrestler in Link VRains, but in real life he's kind of just this friendly, outgoing. Well, I won't say outgoing, but he's this friendly guy who you could just get along with, and I like that. And I'm gonna have a little bit more to say to him once we get to that that second topic where he's fighting against Yusaku in the future episodes. But we'll get to that later. But so far, Go Onizuka, I think he's gonna be one of my favorite characters in VRains, and I can't wait to see what he has in store for us.
That's awesome. And that's definitely unique because I don't think a lot of people would pick Go, and of course there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think a lot of people would pick him as their favorite character thus far, but it is always good to hear from that unique perspective. So I'm actually really glad that someone does pick Go as their favorite character, because he was someone that personally, I know you say, don't jump the bandwagon, or really, I guess that's probably not the best term, but don't jump to conclusions. That's what I meant to say, not jump the bandwagon. Don't jump to conclusions based on character designs. And that's basically all I do on this channel. I speculate, and that's what I do, and I speculated completely incorrectly for him. I thought he was going to be like a trudge, an irrelevant character. His design didn't really excite me, but then when we got his bio a couple days ago, that he's this kind-hearted person, and he's so popular and well-liked that he doesn't even need a disguise like Aoi and Yusaku do in the VR world, and that he's just this like larger-than-life almost figure, his bio definitely increased his popularity and his likeness, at least in my eyes. So Go Onizuka, very interesting choice. We've had Akira, we've had Go, Sam, Spacial Mewtwo. What are you most excited for about in VRains? What is your favorite character thus far, and why is he or she your favorite character?
I'd probably say in Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, the thing I'm most excited for is, probably not many people are going to care about this, but I'm more excited to see more Link monsters, and see what they're going to do, and possibly, like, people are saying this might not happen, but I really am excited, and hoping that we see the other summoning methods, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendulum, even though Pendulum will suck with the speed duels, because there. But I'm really excited to see more Link monsters, and I'm really excited to see Firewall Dragon. Firewall Dragon is like one of the most beautiful godly cards in the entire game at the moment in my eyes, and I'm just so excited to see it animated, to see how Yusaku gets it, because I'm getting like Stardust Dragon vibes where we'll get it later in the series, or something like Neos. Because it just doesn't seem like, if the previews say that Yusaku's deck sucks, and if he has something as good as Firewall Dragon, I don't think his deck would be that bad. But I'm really excited just to see more cards. I'm excited to see how they'll affect more of the game. Possibly Jack Atlas. No, joking, of course. No Jack Atlas.
Jesus, man, come on.
I know how everyone hates Jack Atlas because of what he did in Dark 5, but Jack Atlas totally. Secretly Revolver, under the mask, Jack Atlas.
Oh, God.
Totally. Like that's my topologic bomber dragon, looks like red demons. It's like obviously. As for my favorite character, probably Naoki Shima. Nah. No more beaming. Beaver Man. Gotta love the Beaver Man.
The obese beaver.
Beaver. But probably I'd actually say I'm excited to see like Legendary. I'm excited to see Go. And I'm also excited to see the Mysterious Life Form because everyone is judging him based on his voice and saying, like you, Dylan, like you're saying, this is the most annoying voice in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! History.
I did say that.
I'm done. But like I've been watching an anime called Code Geass recently, and he's actually the voice of Suzaku, who's one of the main characters if you've watched it. So, and that it's nice to hear him, but probably overall, I'd probably say Yusaku, just because Yusaku seems like he has an interesting backstory. And I just want to see how him and his deck evolve throughout the series. Yeah, that's probably all I have to say about that.
Good pick, Sam. And Link Monsters, I'm actually, as someone who is not nearly as into the TCG and OCG as you are, Sam, and as most people are that watch Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, I'm actually really excited to see Link Monsters in action as well. I think it's going to be very exciting. And Yusaku, I think most people are excited to see Yusaku Fujiki. Legendary, if you have anything you want to add real quick before I give my take on this, and then we will switch right over to Sora. What's up, Legendary?
Sure, I forgot to mention one thing about Go Onizuka that's kind of unique and interesting that I think might get kind of maybe ignored or kind of passed by. I feel like maybe some people might be disappointed by this. And one of the things is that Go Onizuka in both VR, I believe, and in real life, he's known by his own name, and he has the same design in both. And I think that's kind of a negative for some people, but I actually think that's kind of makes him more unique and makes him stand out more because in a way it kind of shows that he has nothing to hide, whether he's in real life or in real life or in the virtual world. He is who he is and he has nothing to hide. And most people, like Aoi or Yusaku, like they have to hide. They have their reasons for why they hide who they are, and their character doesn't look exactly like them. But he has nothing to hide. He is who he is, and I kind of respect that. And I think that should be that's something more unique that a lot of people maybe are kind of missing on it.
I agree with you. I think it makes him transparent. I think it makes him seem like a genuine character. It makes him seem honest. Not saying Yusaku and Aoi are not honest, because as you said, they both have their reasons, and I'm sure other characters will have their reasons. But I do like that about Go Onizuka. Sora, do you have anything you want to add?
I just wanted to add what Sam was saying about the voice actor for the AI. I also watched Code Geass. I love Suzaku's voice actor. He's also been in Naruto and Bleach, which I also loved. But by God, that AI voice, I can't stand it. I love the voice actor, but I hate that voice.
Now, I'm hoping because it's a robot and it's an AI, it probably should be able to change its voice, so maybe if that's like a complaint that a lot of fans have in the beginnings, of course if it's a comic relief character, I guess, which I think it's going to be, we're just going to have to deal with it, but hopefully the voice mellows down a little bit, because we've only heard 3 seconds of it, to be fair, in that first episode preview, but it did not sound inviting, to say the least. Before I give my thoughts,
back
Sam,
onto the topic about the AI's voice, it's just like, in like Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, you can hear like in the beginning, like some characters like Yuya and Yuzu completely sound utterly different from when you hear them like episodes 148. So who knows? The AI's voice may become much better during the end of the show, and then everyone like Dylan will praise it as the best voice actor of the show. Totally, that's what's going to happen.
That is very true, and to add on to that, I remember Judayuki, Jaden from GX, his voice in the very first episode, and that was because he was a lot younger in the first episode, much different than, season 4 Judai. So, voice actors and voices can definitely change, so I think it would be kind of harsh to really be critical of it, but, you can be critical of it at least in the beginning, and I hope he does become my favorite voice actor by the end of the show. That's what I hope for every character, and that's what I hope for every Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, that it's, the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, so for me, what am I most excited for about VRains? So for me, I am most excited for to find out what exactly happened in Yusaku Fujiki's past. There is a lot to be excited for when it comes to VRains, and that, I think, is a plot element. Another thing I could say is to see, Aoi Zaizen, but the thing is, she could become shafted by episode 15. This is something that we know we're going to get. This is so vital to the plot. We've seen it on so many different, leaks where Yusaku's trying to find out what happened in his past. The only line of dialogue we got is that, these people, whether it's the Knights or whether it's Soul Technology or another group, another vigilante group, they stole my past. What happened in Yusaku's past? Was he a Knight of Hanoi? Was he, someone... What does he mean by they stole his past? And why does he know... And how does he know that this group, whoever it was, stole his past, but at the same time... he doesn't have the memory of what happened. So there's kind of a lot of, I feel like, gray areas when it comes to that, but I'm very excited to just learn the truth behind our main protagonist, Yusaku Fujiki, learn why he's such a hardened character, at least it seems, in the early stages of VRains. My favorite character thus far, we've had Akira, we've had Go, we've had Yusaku, all really good choices. Akira, at one point, he's probably top 5, someone I'm very excited for, and Yusaku is probably number 2, but my favorite character thus far is Aoi Zaizen. It is Aoi, and it's just that I've waited a long time. Aki, or Akiza from 5Ds, is my favorite female in Yu-Gi-Oh! I think she is the best female we've gotten in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've waited for a long time for a character like her to have a complicated backstory, to have almost a tragic backstory, and just be this really badass female, a more older-looking female. Because while Yuzu was cool, and while Kotari she didn't really do much, but you had Rio and Mirage, and Rio was a well-written character, but they were both kind of younger, and I don't know, for me personally, I just like characters that have a more older, mature look, to be honest. I don't know why, that's just my personal opinion. Not everyone's going to agree with that, but that's my personal opinion, and we finally have that with Aoi Zaizen, and we have a character who in the real world seems to be such kind of a turtle in a shell. She seems to be shy, she seems to be distant, she seems to be cold, but in the VR world, she's an idol. She's idolized by so many people. She's, beautiful, she's cute. That's, these are the descriptions we've gotten of her from the leaks. And you have a character that has a brother complex. Now, first of all, there's some people going around saying she's gonna have she's gonna have a crush on her older brother Akira. She absolutely is not. Yu-Gi-Oh does not do romance at all. Yu-Gi-Oh has just butchered romance, and to think that they're going to do romance in this sense in an incestual way, they're just not. Now, would it be enough for me to drop the show? Probably not, to be completely honest. Not that I, support that at all, but I'm just saying that I know in some shows that it does work out. There was a show that a few people told me that if it's like that, it won't be too bad of a storyline. And then other people are like, if they have any hints of that, I'm not even watching VRains. I'm dropping it right then and there. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be like a Sho and Rio relationship from GX. A Rio Marufuji, a Cyrus Truesdale, a Zane Truesdale relationship, except brother-sister, where Sho is, trying to be proven in the eyes of his older brother, and Zayn, as we know by season 3, becomes very cold, becomes very distant, but by season 4 he comes around. I never really agreed with it because Sho wins one duel in season 4 and Zayn's just like, that kid's finally surpassed me, and I'm sitting there like, what do you mean he surpassed? This is the first duel he's won on screen in like freaking 100 episodes. So I never really understood that, and I hope the execution with these characters is a little better. I think Akira is going to be a little more colder than Rio Marufuji was, and I think the Zaizens are it's actually probably top 3, Akira, Yusaku, Aoi, in that order of characters I'm most looking forward to. Revolver is probably around the 4th spot as well. I'm very, very excited to see the Zaizens. I'm very excited to see Aoi, and I'm really just hoping after what Arc 5 did with its females that, please, Shin Yoshida, if you are hearing me, which I know you're not, please write these characters well. Because I know you can do it. Just pretend Aoi is a male and write her well. That's all you have to do. I know female characters aren't your thing. Just pretend she's a guy and just write her as if she's a guy and then give her... it's as simple as that, right? I know it's not as simple as that. But anyway, that is going to... But anyway, she is my favorite character. She's the character that I am most looking forward to in Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains. Very interesting question right off the bat. Great answers from these three and me. Please leave your thoughts on who your favorite character is down below and what aspect of VRains you are most excited for. Sam, I'm going to go back to you with the second topic. Every Yu-Gi-Oh! Protagonist but Yusei has lost within the first 8 episodes. Yugi lost to Pegasus, Judai lost to Ryo Marufuji, Yusei lost to Jack in a flashback, I don't technically count it, he didn't lose in the first 8 episodes, and Yuma lost God knows how many times. Will Yusaku follow that trend, or become only the second protagonist ever to not be defeated in that time span? Will he struggle against Go Onizuka?
I think Yusaku
Sam,
will definitely be struggling against Go Onizuka. Hopefully his deck has changed by then, because I'm expecting, like, in the first episode to pull some, like, shilling stuff, like, have his deck be the entire starter deck 2017. Hopefully it's not that, because that'd be pretty dumb. And as for if he will lose, I honestly don't think Yusaku will duel enough. I think he will not be dueling all that much in the first 8 episodes to have that much of a loss, but against on Go, I'm actually not sure, because we haven't got enough information about the duel. All we know is that a duel is taking place. We don't know the circumstances of the duel. We don't know anything about this AI, about how he's giving Yusaku this special power. Possibly it's Link summoning, possibly it's Decode Talker. Not sure, so I honestly don't know. I don't think there's much we can say on it right now.
Yeah, it's a tough question. The main reason I brought up Go, because if Yusaku is going to follow that trend and lose within the first 8 episodes, I feel like it almost has to be against Go Onizuka, because we know he's going to win in the first 3 episodes against the Knights of Hanoi. That's what the summaries have given away. So we know because he's going to be revered as a hero. So we know Yusaku is going to not lose in the first 3 episodes, and then we could assume he's going to duel Go, and then who knows what's going to happen 6, 7, and 8. But it's just interesting that almost every protagonist has lost in the first 8 episodes. I did forget to mention, too, as Sora pointed out, Yugioh lost to Yuzu in episode 2. So I'm going to turn it over to you, because I know you have a lot to say about this. We already know Go is preliminarily your favorite character. So do you think that Yusaku is going to lose within the first 8 episodes, and will he struggle against Go Onizuka?
Well, I definitely think it's possible for Yusaku to lose in the first 8 episodes, just based on how they're writing this story. I know they're writing him out to be this big-time hero and this and that, and there's conflicting things with him being, like, not being able to stand out, as well as him never dueling before, and then all of a sudden being this hero who, like, there's a lot of conflicting things, so depending on how the first episode goes, will really shape how it moves forward. But I think it's possible, because well, the other characters have, other than Yusei, but Yusei is, perfect, so we won't even go there. So based on the story, because let's say, for example, we see in the first episode that Yusaku, based on the first episode, summaries, Yusaku's deck isn't capable of handling the Knights of Hanoi, so the AI kind of does something to his deck. They didn't say what it was, but it's obvious he's gonna update his deck. He's either gonna give him Link monsters or just update, like, half of his deck is probably gonna change and be, like, brand new with, like, all these new powerful cards. That's typically what happens, just like how Yuya had his deck and then some of them got turned into pendulums. It's a staple in Yu-Gi-Oh! That they kind of do stuff like that from time to time. Well, almost a staple, but so I think that and then because of that duel, he'll end up winning because of the help from the AI himself. But other than that, I mean, it's, because of the AI helping him, it's possible that he will lose, possibly lose against Go. So, moving on to that topic with will he struggle against Go? I think he will, and one of the reasons why is because I have no idea whether or not this duel. Do you know whether or not this duel is taking place in the virtual world or in real? Well, actually, they did say that Yusaku wouldn't duel at school, so I guess technically that answers my question, which I think it's odd, but okay. So let's say he does duel him. The AI helped him because he realized that Yusaku wasn't able to defeat him, or his deck wasn't strong enough to defeat him. So, and he's fighting against one of the Knights of Hanoi, so this is a very important battle. So maybe that's why the AI helped him for that case. So I'm thinking it's a possibility that against Go, seeing that it's not really a serious duel, it seems more like a, hey, let's, we meet for the first time, let's duel to get to know each other, something like that. Or, you're playmaker, I want to duel you, let's go. it's kind of like a scenario like that. And maybe for a duel like that, the AI wouldn't need to help. So it's possible that he might not help because he doesn't need to. So he'll just end up Yusaku himself, without the support of the AI, will struggle against Go Onizuka and probably even lose, because it's not that important for him to win that duel, because there's nothing at stake like the Knights of Hanoi duel. So I think that's why it might be possible that Yusaku would lose, and I think that would be great, and it would show that he has potential as a protagonist, obviously, but he's not all that. And Go is presented as the strongest duelist in VR, so it would be kind of unrealistic for him to be defeated by this new guy. I know Yu-Gi-Oh! Likes to write these prodigy characters, but it doesn't always have to be so cut and dry as that, so just copy and paste, like, oh, they're perfect, they could be anybody, just like Yugi could defeat Kaiba or Pegasus and whatnot. But, yeah, I just think it's definitely possible for Yusaku to struggle against him. In fact, I think he will. I mean, they're making this a two-parter. Maybe by the end of the first episode they'll start and then continue off the second. I don't know. So I think it'll be fun to watch that duel for sure. And I think his deck is going to be very strong fighting up against him. I'm not sure if he's going to use his Link monsters. Yusaku's going to use his Link monsters or not. I don't know how that's going to work, if he can only use it if the AI is helping him, or, kind of like Astral, you can only use the numbers when Astral is with him, or when he's wearing the pendant and whatnot, and when Astral lets him borrow it. So it's kind of like that. So we'll see how it goes, but those are my thoughts on it. I don't want to ramble on for too long.
Yeah, very interesting. And it's funny because I'm kind of rooting for Go a little bit, just because I like when the protagonist loses early and has to kind of overcome something. So I wouldn't mind seeing Go win this duel, to be completely honest. Before we move on to the final topic, Sam, Sora, we're going to start with Sam. Anything you want to add real quick?
Just quickly adding, I just thought for a second, instead of maybe the AI giving Yusaku Link monsters, maybe he gives him the new Cyburst type monsters, like Cyburst, whatever, I can't even remember their names, like Link Slayer, Decode Talker, Firewall Dragon, because that would be actually cool. That would explain why Go has Link monsters as well, and so does Aoi, the Trickster, Holy Angel, and the Goki Ogre thing. That would explain that, and hopefully they don't pull a random thing from like Arc 5 again, where just everyone randomly has Pendulum monsters, because that was a little bit dumb in my opinion, but
yeah.
It would explain more. It would make more sense there if he got Cyburst type monsters.
I actually agree, because I was thinking, I was like, well, yeah, you have Yu with the pendulums, but he was kind of for a while the only one that had pendulums. And then I was like, we know Revolver has a Link monster. We know Aoi and Go have Link monsters. So maybe the AI will give him Decode Talker. Maybe he'll give him Cyburst monsters. Very interesting points there. Sora, anything you want to add real quick?
I just wanted to add about what Legendary said about the duel against Go having no stakes. We don't really know that. I forget exactly what line it was in the summaries, but something in the summaries made me think that SOL was going to sort of hire Go or something as the strongest duelist to defeat Yusaku, now that he's known as the hero and he's all this and he stole the AI and everything. I forget exactly which part of the summaries did that, but it makes me think that there's probably going to be stakes in that duel.
That is interesting. I'm gonna have to relook at the summaries, because I might have completely missed that.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. Maybe that was just something I thought of, and I think I read it in the thing. Sorry if it's not in there. Sorry, everybody who's listening. I'm just insane.
I'll show the summaries on screen right now, and
I'm wrong.
It's an interesting theory, though. If it's not in there, it's an interesting theory nonetheless. Legendary. Before we move on, anything you want to counter?
Well, first of all, if I'm wrong about that, then I completely must have missed that too, because I don't remember that part, but maybe that's true. If that's true, then that changes a couple things I said, but we'll move on from that part. I did want to say one last thing. It was about Yusaku and the Go duel, and we already know that Yusaku, based on the preview or whatever, he states that he can't really enjoy dueling because he lost his memories or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, so don't crucify me, but basically doesn't have as much fun. So I think this might be a little theory or an assumption, or maybe something that I'm hoping for the end of the series, since Yusaku's going to be this serious character who's trying to get whatever his past was or his memories, whatever it is, and he's not enjoying dueling throughout the series. I'm hoping that by the very end of the series, maybe second to last episode, or if anything, the last episode, the final duel he has is with Go, and Go is the kind of person in the series that kind of helps Yusaku kind of live that thrill and excitement of dueling, because that's kind of Go's personality. You know, he's an entertainer, and you know, he's a wrestler and all this stuff, and he's a really nice guy and cool. He's friendly and all that stuff. So I think it would be really cool if they went through that direction where, since Yusaku is more of the character that's just a little depressed or not as enjoyed like some of the other main characters who doesn't enjoy dueling as much, that he's the one that actually helps them get to that point where he can actually enjoy dueling and have fun. And that's my last thought on that.
Well, it wasn't officially a Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything video until someone speculated what the ceremonial duel would be 3 years from now. So thank you, Legendary. No, but no, what you said is really well. I mean, it's crazy to think that the ceremonial duel is probably like 3 years away. I mean, that's insane. But I mean, who knows where everyone will. Who knows where we'll be then? Jesus Christ! It'll be funny if us four do the final podcast for VRains. Maybe I'll make that.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, who knows where we'll be in 2020? We'll see. But I'm not gonna make any commitments 3 years down the road. But no, I kind of hope Yusaku has Go as that friendly rival, and Revolver is the more serious, like dire rival. I think that would be cool if he has a two rival system, which we've seen in Yu-Gi-Oh! Before, especially in GX and in Zexal. So, going to move on to the final point, or the final topic, I should say, and I will start it. I'm going to probably just speed run through a bunch of different things I have here, but the final topic is any early VRains theories and things that we want to see happen, concerns we may have. So, as for some early VRains theories, I did believe, before we got the more information about the characters, that Yusaku might have been a Knight of Hanoi. I kind of don't believe it anymore, because I feel like they haven't... it still could be plausible, I suppose, but I just personally don't really believe it. If it happened, it wouldn't, like, stun me. I'd be a little surprised, but it wouldn't, like, catch me out of thin air, if you know what I mean. But here's a theory that I will throw at you guys right now, that the main antagonist is going to be the boss of Soul Technology, and that is going to be the Zaizen's father. Akira Zaizen and Aoi Zaizen's father is going to be the main villain in Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, at least maybe for the first arc. I think that he hired his son as the leader of security, kind of maybe even manipulating him, and I think that Aoi is maybe going to play a role, or maybe she's not seen as, and we know she's not seen as good enough in her brother's eyes, maybe she's not seen as good enough in her father's eyes, and I think once Akira maybe realizes that his father was using him this whole time, he's going to kind of backlash. Maybe we'll even see an Akira and Aoi versus their father main duel. I just think, if Soul Technology did not have a bigger role to play, they would have made Akira Zaizen the main head of Soul Technology, but they didn't. They made him the head of security. So who is the main leader of Soul Technology? I really think it's going to be the Mr. Zaizen, the father, and I think he is going to be a major villain in Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains. Another theory that I like a lot is that Revolver is Kusanagi's brother. A lot of people, I didn't even think of this, but a lot of people threw this at me when I did a discussion video a couple of days ago, and I have to say, I am completely on board with this one. I think that Revolver, here's the thing, I'm on board with it, but I don't, because we don't know about Kusanagi's brother. He could have went missing, but given Revolver's appearance, you're not going to be able to tell. I mean, if my brother was in that suit, I would have no idea, because he's very well hidden. That's his VR form. And I think that Kusanagi thinks his brother is dead, and it's going to be a major plot twist when he realizes his brother is not dead, and his brother is Revolver. And what I'm really hoping for is that Revolver did this on his own, that he has his own motivations, that he's not brainwashed. Please don't tell me that he was brainwashed or tricked into leading the Knights of Hanoi. That would be it's so overdone. It's so overdone. I don't want to see any brainwashing or mind control or trickery. Give him his own motivations. Give him his own backstory on why he left his brother, on why he became this kind of almost seemingly terrorist group, the leader of a terrorist group in the Knights, and I think that would just be really, really cool. I think it would give Kusanagi a lot of depth. I think it would give Revolver a lot of depth. You could have those two duel. Revolver defeats his brother, then Yusaku steps in, and that's kind of like a main duel before it's revealed to us that, Soul Technology is the real bad guys here. Here's some things that I want to see happen. I want Yusaku to lose 4 to 5 times throughout the show. Even if he lost 3 times, that'd be okay. I thought the amount of times Yugioh lost was good. Yuma was a little too much. Yusei was a little too little. I thought Yugi and Judai honestly lost a really good amount, along with Yuya. I thought those 3 lost a good amount. Yusei was too little. Yuma was too much. Some duels that I really want to see. Aoi versus Yusaku, which I think is a given. Usually when the female protagonist is a duelist, we almost always see them duel the main protagonist. It's happened in every show except Duel Monsters and Zexal, but again, you don't really think of Anzu and Kotari as, duelists, and that's why, they didn't duel Yuma and Yugi respectfully. I want to see Aoi versus Akira. I want to see brother versus sister. And I want to see Aoi versus Emma. Emma, interestingly enough, a character that is getting, I think, a lot of hype from the community, someone that hasn't even been brought up in this video yet. I think she's going to be in more of a gray area in morality, but it's going to lead to another thing that I want to see happen, and that is a 4-team war. I want to see Soul Technology as one team versus the Knights of Hanoi versus Yusaku's group, which hopefully will be maybe Yusaku, Kusanagi, Aoi, and Go, maybe even Naoki, versus Emma, Bishop, and maybe another person that we have not been introduced to yet. We don't know if Bishop is a Knight of Hanoi. We know Spectre is, but it would be kind of cool if Emma and Bishop are kind of working together, or maybe along with another team, and they're in more of a gray area, and we have this 4-frontal war all centered around this mysterious AI, which, who knows why the AI is so important, but I just think when the more groups and the more factions that you have, I think that just adds to the show, because you could have, the Knights of Hanoi and Soul Technology members versing each other, and at the same time, you could have, Yusaku's team versing Soul Technology, and maybe they're going to team up and go up and try to take down Soul Technology. I think a 4-team war, or even a 3-team war, if Emma and Bishop, and maybe Bishop's a Knight of Hanoi and Emma just does her own thing, that'd be cool too. But the more the merrier. Concerns I have, and then I will turn it to Sora because I'm almost out of breath. Speed duels. I'm concerned about how speed duels will be received. I know Sora said he's excited to see speed duels. I really don't care about speed duels in terms of, that's not a negative for me, but I know a lot of people who play the game might see it as a negative, because if you don't play Duel Links, they're not really realistic to the real card game, to the TCG and the OCG, because it's a 20-card deck, it's a 5-card extra deck. I'm excited for it. I'm just worried it's going to be received kind of iffy by the community. Filler arcs. Right now we're really into the plot, it seems, right off the bat, which is a very good sign, but when you're running a show for 3 years straight for 150 episodes, you're almost always going to have filler arcs and filler duels, and I just hope that every Yu-Gi-Oh show has fallen into a trap where the filler arc just was kind of boring. You had about 15-20 episodes that were just stagnant, and I just kind of hope that we don't see that with VRains. That's kind of unfair because of how long and consistent VRains has to run over these next 3 years, but filler arcs is always something that I'm concerned about. Pacing can be put in that category as well when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! And my final concern, it's a major one, how will these females be written? How is Aoi Zaizan going to be written? How is Emma Besso going to be written? The females were written... We've never really had a good written female. Maybe Mai was the best written female we've had, and Aki. Those were 2 really well-done females. I thought Anzu was even written for what character she was playing. I thought she was written well. But Asuka and GX, disappointment. Rio was good, but we just didn't see her until episode, more than halfway through Zexal. Kotari, not my cup of tea. Yuzu, Serena, Rin, Ruri, all just fell off the map, and Ray, don't even get me started. Aoi and Emma, hopefully, will be written very well. Hopefully, they will be written very, interestingly, and they will be given a lot of depth and a lot of duels and a lot of screen time. Females, always a big concern when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! So, those are all my theories, things I want to see happen, and concerns. Sora, I'm going to pass it to you. Do you have any VRains theories you want to discuss? Are there any things you want to see happen? Are there any concerns that you have?
Yeah, I think actually a lot of our ideas are very similar. A theory I had is that Yusaku created the AI in his past. That's what he's saying. He lost it, so he doesn't remember. I'd even thought that before they brought up the memory thing. I was like, Yusaku probably created that AI, didn't he?
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah, I also think that maybe it'll turn out that Soul Technology or that the Knights of Hanoi have secretly been working for the greater good all along. Like, say, turns out Link VRains is needed to keep the world stable for some reason, or the Link VRains is destroying the world for some reason, so the Knights of Hanoi trying to, break it and hack it all the time is actually a good thing. Like you said, I said that, maybe somebody is manipulating SOL and the Knights of Hanoi and Yusaku and his group the whole time. Like you said, that could be the Zaizen's father. That's a really interesting theory. I really like that. What I really want to see is the other summoning methods, definitely. I want to see Emma and Aoi being good characters. Like you said, you brought up Mai, you brought up Aki. I think one that people forget a lot is Ishizu. I thought Ishizu was a really great female character.
That's very fair. That's very fair. That is someone people overlook. She was written really well. You're right.
And I can see Emma kind of taking that role of, maybe a more gray, darker gray version of Ishizu, but they're more mysterious, but they do know a lot of stuff about the behind the scenes goings on, and they kind of try and help the protagonist, but they're also trying to do their own thing. I really already like if they can be like Mai, just their own independent person. Like you said, you wanted Yusaku to lose. What did you say?
4 to 5 times.
I'd actually written, I want him to lose at least once every 40 episodes, even near the end. I want a protagonist to lose near the end. Obviously not the final duel, but one near the end, because by then, it's the thing of, the final 50 episodes, the protagonist never loses. It would be interesting if he did lose, a really important duel towards the end. And some things I'm worried about is Naoki getting a lot of screen time. He's just not fun to look at. If there's only Link summons, that'll be kind of boring. Just like 5Ds with its only synchros and Zexal with its only XCs. They threw in a fusion once, but another thing is too many speed duels. Even if they just have the same ratio of regular duels to non-regular duels that 5Ds had, that's fine. But don't be like Arc 5, where you have 2 normal duels and action duels the rest of the time. I hope Aoi and Emma don't get shafted, like usual, but it's probably gonna happen. And I don't want the villains...
I know.
I don't want the villains to be, one note. I know Sam loves those crazy, just manic villains, but I like villains with a lot more depth, a lot more purpose. That's why I really liked Rex Godwin and Zone, because they weren't just evil to be evil. They were evil with a purpose. They had reasons for what they were doing that were understandable, and even, say in Zone's case, even a little bit justifiable in what they were doing. I don't want just the crazy manic Zark or Darkness, or, they were good, but we've had enough of them.
Hey, Zark is amazing.
On that note, I think it's time to wrap up. All right. No, but Sora, a lot of good things were said there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and something that you did mention that I really hope they do. They have to have a good balance. 5Ds had a good balance with riding duels and standing duels. Arc 5 had an absolutely horrific balance with action duels and regular duels. They have to have a good balance between speed duels and regular standing duels in the Link VRains. So that'll be an interesting to keep an eye on. That'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye on, excuse me. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to let these 3 give their plugs, and I really do hope you check them out. Thank you to these 3 really for coming on, but more importantly, thank you to you guys for listening to us for 45 minutes ramble on about Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains. I always make this speech at the end of the podcast. We are only 4 people in the community. Really, it's all of you guys watching at home or watching on your phones, watching on your computers, watching on your smart TVs that make the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community and make these podcasts worthwhile. So thank you guys really so much for watching. But here are the outros, I guess you can say. Check these 3 out. Legendary Duels, if you want to give your plug, go right ahead.
Sure. If you guys want to visit our channel at Legendary Duels, we do character duels, character deck profiles. We will be doing top 5s and top 10s in the future once I get my new desktop, which will be really soon. A lot of new projects I'm looking forward to. I guess a couple little teasers. We will be doing at some point, probably in the fall, we will be doing probably speed duels, like actual speed duels from 5Ds, with speed counters, speed spells, and all that. We'll try our hand on that. That should be really fun, as well as we'll be doing like WRGP duels where we do 3 characters from different series and put them up in teams. So that should be fun too. Over the summer, I'm planning on having a fun little tournament between me and maybe other YouTubers, whoever wants to join. And it'll be a character deck tournament. We'll see how that goes. I really do want to do that though, because it'll be a fun way and for us all to interact and I guess get to know each other, and it'll be good content for my channel as well for everybody else's channel whoever wants to use that as a tool to help them. But yeah, it'll be fun. We do a lot of things. I'll be doing reviews as well at some point in the future for VRains, but it'll be like every month or so. And I'll be reviewing like the last 3 or 4 episodes, not in depth, but just saying like what are my favorite parts or what I'm enjoying so far, what characters I like and stuff like that. Just going through. It won't be weekly. It'll be I guess monthly or every 3 weeks or so. But I will be doing that. We'll see. I got to get my new desktop. A lot of new projects I'm working on, especially for the upcoming year 2018. A lot of secrets I'm still keeping hold. Hopefully it all works out. But yeah, that's my channel. You guys interested? Go right ahead. We just finished the duel, which was a Yugioh versus Yugioh. Pretty much doing a duel of what would have happened in the finals of the Friendship Cup between Yugioh and Yugioh before he would have faced Jack. The duel that we never got to see, that was teased for us. And we'll be doing other duels like that, as well as like remakes of duels that we didn't think were that great, that could have been done better, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my channel. If you guys want to go over there. Right now we're in our Arc 5 Bonanza spring to summer session, so a lot of Arc 5 content as in Arc 5 duels and deck profiles coming up. So yeah, thank you guys for everything.
Yeah, and take my word for it, a lot of great and fun content over on Legendary Duels channel, so definitely check them out in the description below. Spacial Mewtwo, if you want to tell them what you're all about.
I'm not about much at the moment. I've been working, like I said, all the other podcasts I'm on that I'm working on content. I'm very busy with just stuff in life. Making thumbnails for Dylan, which is always a pleasure, by the way. Always a pleasure.
They're good to look at. They're good to look at.
Phew, unlike what Brad thinks. Fuck you, Brad.
Well, Brad is busy getting last place in Mario Kart, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's all that Brad does, right? But yeah, I'm working on my own things. I'm actually doing some scripted duels on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, like 5D's Jack versus Yuri is the one that I'm working on. And I'm soon going to be doing one with Yugioh versus Yusei, which is going to have like all the Dimension Dragons, all the Dimension Dragon upgrades versus Yusei. It's going to be like a big thing where we like Quasar versus Raging Dragon. It's going to be like working on it. It takes a lot of time to do these scripted duels, especially when cards misplay or whatever when you're testing. I'm working on a few top 10s at the moment, like a top 10 Arc 5 duels. Just because I saw Dylan's video, I was just like, yeah, I've got nothing better to do. Let's make this video. Gotta milk the Arc 5 content until VRains is like into full motion. Gotta get the views. Other than that, I'm not working on much at the moment. And back to you, Dylan. I don't know what else to say.
All right, yeah. Well, check out Sam. He has good stuff to come. He's been saying that for months, but he will deliver. I promise you that. So great, Sora. I know you don't do much on YouTube. Is there anything you want to say? Any final words?
Well, I'll just plug my Reddit. I'm Soledsnak on Reddit and on Twitter. On Reddit, I don't do Yu-Gi-Oh stuff anymore, but I did do review reactions on GX and 5D's episodes. If you want to go check them out. My name is spelled kind of weird, but I'm sure you can read it in the description. And other than that, I just do random manga stuff now, not anything Yu-Gi-Oh related. But yeah, it was nice being on this podcast.
Well, thank you for coming on. It was a pleasure to have you. First time you
Sora has
been on. So anyway, we're gonna wrap things up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please check all these 3 out in the description below, and please leave your thoughts about all the topics down below. We will be talking to you in the comment section. When this goes up, we will be within 24 hours of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains Episode 1. I cannot wait. These guys cannot wait, and I hope you cannot wait as well. Have an amazing day, everyone. As always, thank you so much for watching the first ever Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains podcast on my channel. Have an amazing day.